Hello everyone, we are Group 7 and our weekly presentation is about leadership. We are all online students and our group members are Almudena, Laszlo, Solen and Chucky.
First of all, in order to develop our presentation, we must have two very clear concepts. The first is what is leadership, and the second, what is the function of the leadership in the company. So, we must know that leadership is a process or a skill by which a company can influence others to achieve objectives established by the company. Therefore, in the company, it is of great importance to get the maximum potential of the worker so that the needs of the company are satisfied. In this sense, the leader is in charge of improving employee motivation, achieving an ideal environment for better work development. Knowing these definitions of leadership and its role in the company, we can move on to the next point. We are going to have a moment of reflection, like 15 seconds, and we must observe this list of qualities that defines a leader carefully. With which one do you identify?
Here are some characteristics that can differentiate a leader from a manager in a company. A leader is usually the person who creates a vision for the company, which is longer term, while a manager is the person who usually focuses on more short-term goals. A leader is the person who can take risks and create change in the company. But the manager usually is the person who controls the risk and try to maintain the status quo and order of the company. Also, a leader usually can build strong relationship with their customers and create fans who supports the products or services of the company. While a manager is usually a person who focuses more on working with the employees, ensuring that employees can do their work on time, and who is the person who is responsible for building systems and processes within the company, rather than creating new relationships.
Being a leader means having formal but also non-formal responsibilities. A leader must define the important team parameters such as environments, orientations, and objectives. He must motivate, such as encourage, criticize, welcome, advise. He must manage, which means recruit, train, evaluate, remunerate, and promote. A leader has to match expectations with the organization's sub-goals. He must exercise informal power, which means having influence or masterizing the crucial issues of his department and using the resources of the partners. And a leader must be a spokesperson. He keeps key people in the organization informed and inform external audiences.
So, can the Queen Isabel II run Apple? What do you think? The first point that we need to be a good leader is the higher you go, the longer your tail. As CEO, everything you say and do is observed in detail. People attach all kinds of meaning to your words and actions. For example, if you make eye contact and strike confidently, people think the company is moving with you. By contrast, looking preoccupied and failing to say hello can create doubt. Albert Mehrabian's study about communication might surprise you. He found that only 7% of what we communicate is in words. The tone is 38%, and up to 55% is only the body language. Awareness of your personal presence, the ripple effect of your action and attitudes, and how people are reacting are critical to leadership, but also it's very important to have the ability to react. It's essential to be a good leader. The second point that we need to know is think like a leader. The early part of a leader career is mostly spent developing expertise. Ironically, becoming a leader involves letting go of that expert mindset to allow for diversity in ideas and contributors. In the beginner's mind, there are many possibilities, but in the expert mind, there are a few. This is a thing that Sonryu Suzuki, author of Zen Mind, wrote. So, finding the balance is the key. The best leaders are black belt listeners. They suspend judgment to really understand what someone is trying to say. They listen for underlying thoughts, feelings, and possibilities before jumping to their opinions and solutions. They might be the rarest and most important skill for leaders to keep growing the organization and themselves. The third point is build relationships first. Amy Edmondson of Harvard Business School defines psychological safety as a belief that one will not be punished or humiliated for speaking up with ideas, concerns, mistakes, or questions. Research from Google identifies safety as the key ingredient to successfully teamwork. To create it, great leaders retrain the natural art for immediate action, a strong pull for most high achievers. Whether you are first meeting an employee or opening a team meeting, start with something that recognizes the people in the room. There is joy in taking time to understand what matters to them and connecting the topic at hand to their interests. With the best intentions, managers jump straight into the projects, assigning tasks and checking them off. But building relationships starts with genuine interest and curiosity about what makes some stick. Only then you can create a safe place for others to shine. Speak honestly and collaborate for the company's greater good. Many leaders save this work for the annual team building offsite. Great CEOs incorporate it into the daily interaction, for example, with trips, meals, etc. Understanding that trust has economic value. Building trust is an investment, creating the bonds that allow people to do their best work together. The fourth point is this, the PowerPoint slide for stories. A lot of knowledge and experience goes into your defining a vision, setting context, and driving results. Most leaders work diligently to prepare perfect slides, packed with proof points that appeal to the mind. But getting others on board is really enhanced when your message connects to head and heart. John Cotter, author of The Heart of Change, describes two different ways to talk about change. The first way is analyze, think, change, where you present data and analyze to make your case. More effective is the way of see, feel, and change, where you provide dramatic experience, image, or history that helps people connect emotionally with ideas. A more powerful route to buy-in and commitment. The last point is be thought on issues and soft on people. Great leaders have the highest standards and relentless drive to success for the company and people. Hard-nosed, intellectually rigorous and demanding, they push the boundaries of what's possible. At the same time, exceptional leaders make others feel recognized and valued. Being both thought on issues and attentive to people means a leader can deliver critical messages directly, clearly, and immediately without destroying their relationships. They hold people accountable and make hard decisions early, including firing people when necessary. Top leaders have many stories of people that they have let go and still have relationship with. Those with this skill are revered for their ability to prioritize results and relations equality, guiding organization to greatness. The journey from manager to senior executive to CEO is rich with opportunity to become your best, most purposeful self. It's a higher calling because mastery brings many others with you along the way. So, can the Queen Isabel II room apple? The answer is yes. But why Isabel II wrong apple? Because, as we saw in the slides, she acts carefully since everything she does or says is observed by other people. She feels secure. She based on her experience and professionalism. Before making decisions, she takes into account the thoughts, feelings, and possibilities of other people. She builds trust in those around her. In this way, those who work with her work honestly and collaborate for the benefit of the company. It is based on the see, feel, and change. They are capable of making difficult decisions, making others feel recognized and valued. And finally, she prioritizes results and relationship equally.
So, what should leaders do during difficult times to ensure success of their organization? What do you think?
So now let's move on to the leader lesson of Nikhil Kamath, which is the founder of Zeroda and the co-founder of True Beacon. So the first points, the first lesson mentioned by Nikhil Kamath is, and this is linked to the COVID-19 situation, is he created a company-wide assessment and calls via Slack or Zoom to enhance collaboration and strengthen collaboration. So yeah, for him, basically daily company check on employees is vital for his company to encourage basically the employees to reach out for help if needed, for example, and yeah, in general to enhance collaboration and strengthen the communication. Then Nikhil Kamath mentioned offering non-essential staff the possibility to work from home after the lockdown. So this is kind of a message to encourage team meetings after lockdowns, and also to think also to the staff members, which we in general don't have a lot of privileges. So in this case, non-essential staff, and it's a good way to make them feel valued properly in the company. And then the last point mentioned by him is that he imposed a hard stop at 5 p.m., which resulted in an increase of productivity. internally. And so this technique worked very well, even though at first True Beacon clients were a bit worried about this rule. Nikhil Kamath showed that it was a good decision because it increased both profitability and um, productivity. And yeah, he just wanted to think about the well-being of his employees, even if it would be at the expense of profitability, which was in the end not the case. So it was definitely the best decision Nikhil Kamath made. And yeah, Donna Morris, which is the chief people officer, chief people officer at Walmart. And so the first lesson she gives is about the creation of future-focused and tech-enabled jobs at all levels. And so this resulted in going from a few hundred online orders to more than 157,000 online orders in a couple of years. And yeah, definitely a good decision from her side. Then her second point is about maintaining a commitment to physical, emotional, and financial well-being of associated. And so by this, she implemented COVID-19 emergency leave policy, for example. She also raised wages for hundreds of thousands of people and provided resources to build physical immunity and strengthen mental resilience. And then the last point is that they try to confront systematic racism and inequality by including a move to twice yearly reporting of Walmart's minority groups and by investing $100 million to create a center to address systemic racism. So this was after the tragic killing of George Floyd last year, and so they took immediate decisions to apply those twice yearly reporting and this investment of $100 million because they want to build as she quoted she wanted to build a Walmart for everyone and yeah basically that's it for Donna Morris.
Here is another example what the leader of a household services platform based in South Africa did to ensure success during difficult time last year. From this example, we learned that during difficult time, the leader of a company should strengthen core competences of the business and also observe market trends to expand their business. In this example, the company extended their core services to customers to include outdoor help such as gardeners and painters. The result was amazing. It was a 25% year-on-year increase in the number of booking services provided. The company also sees market opportunities to provide new services such as freelance services, web developers, tax and accounting services, as well as graphic designers to their customers. The other two principles that we can learn from this example is that the leader of the company can adopt new technologies and be creative and innovative at difficult times. This company adopted artificial intelligence technologies to optimize the business with addition of chatbot capabilities that connects customers with professionals smoothly. Also, they use image recognition to enable users to upload pictures of their household areas that require maintenance and let the system suggest the services needed automatically. They scale up the business to new markets in Africa. Also, they use new incentives to reward top performers of the company, such as shopping and entertainment vouchers. Lastly, they involve customers in rewarding exceptional employees. In another example, the CEO of a global law firm based in UK managed to navigate through difficult times during last year to make sure that the company is successful. In this example, we learned that the leader can set clarity on business goals and involve employees in business decisions. In this example, the CEO of the global law firm set clear vision, define meaning of work, and engage the whole business for debate and input. The leader engaged junior colleagues to test new ideas and gather feedback from employees. The leader also empowered employees to become advocates and excited for change that's good for the business. Other learnings from this example are that the leader can nurture a company culture and establish business purpose and values during difficult times. The CEO of this company made sure employees are clear that change programs must prize, protect, and enhance organizational culture. The leader established connection with employees so that employees demand and embrace change. The leader used a purpose and value-led approach in doing business as a major part of the business strategy. From these examples that we just talked about, we learned that the leader of a company can do several things to ensure the company is successful during difficult times. The leader can strengthen core business competencies to ensure continuous income, which is very important to sustain the business during difficult times. The leader can exploit market opportunities to expand scale and scope of their business to look for new sources of revenue. They can be creative and innovative to incorporate efficiency-enhancing technologies to reduce costs in the long run. The leader can also emphasize clarity, communication, and culture to involve employees at all levels of the company to ensure success.
We would now like to introduce an article with some life and leadership lessons from Martin Luther King. I kindly invite you to reflect on these few lessons. Martin Luther King was an African-American pastor and non-violent activist for the American Civil Rights Movement, fervent militant for peace and against poverty. He was assassinated in 1968. Martin Luther King organized and led many actions, and he remains today a very important leader who made history. During his speeches, some of his inspiring words make great sense and translate into valuable leadership advice. Among the multiple quotes in the article, I choose to read the following 4, which are about important leadership values. About collaboration, Martin Luther King said, "We cannot walk alone." These words were pronounced during his very famous speech, "I Have a Dream," in 1963. Team members care. Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? Conscious behaviors. Every man must decide whether he will walk in the light of creative altruism or the darkness of destructive selfishness. Trust and empathy. People fail to get along because they fear each other. They fear each other because they don't know each other. They don't know each other because they have not communicated with each other. To summarize life and leadership lessons from Martin Luther King's speeches, the following values correspond to the main ideas stated by this leader. React and act when something goes wrong for a better future. Act consciously and for good causes. Time is a limited resource. We must take care of it. Think intensively and think critically. Add value to the lives of your team members. Leadership is a collaborative endeavor. Trust and empathy are the pillars of leadership and organizational action. Great leaders push people forward.
After this story, we can observe that the leaders transform like the rest of us. They evolve with every decision, opportunity, or crisis, developing effective change. They must also change as the ones below change. The leadership process is not easy, as moments of anger, fear, and frustration appear. The process of evolving is also conditioned by the environment, since, as he said, Cameron C. Taylor, in the book of 8 Attributes of the Great Achievers, if I eliminate your fight, I will also take away the victory. That is to say, you don't get to develop if someone sees you are fighting and throws you to fly, trying to help you, but you still don't have your wings formed. So, if you want to become a leader, enjoy the struggle of change. Enjoy spreading your wings in every new opportunity, challenge, or position. And most of all, enjoy realizing that this is a boundless journey whose heights have only just begun to appear. So, dear classmate, spread your wings and start flying.
Thank you so much for your attention, and we are looking forward to meeting you someday.